That actually gets me kind of into thinking like, what how did you transfer over to Valorant? Like, how did that fully start up? Was it something like that where you were just watching the streams and you just started casting, or did you have connections toward it where you were able to jump in?
So that's actually a great question, because I would like to think that I was one of the very first people to jump into Valorant, period. So if I were to go back on Liquipedia, I'm actually gonna take a moment and actually see what date was my first ever tournament. So I look at my page over there, and at the very bottom is a tournament by Fragadelphia. First of all, Fragadelphia, great organization, once owned by Nerd Street Gamers, and they flew me out to my very first LAN. Like, not my very first LAN, but the first time that I was ever flown out. So shout outs to them, and it was on my birthday too. Big tidbit. But this was in April, or yes, this was in April of last year, April the 25th. This is mid beta, if not the beginning of beta. And I had commentated the very first tournament for Fragadelphia, which ended up turning into the Pittsburgh Knights tournaments. So I jumped on very early into Valorant purely because I saw the potential career-wise, and I saw the potential as just a pure tactical FPS. I am not exactly a hardcore like Counter-Strike guy. Like, I'm not a veteran. I've been around for a while, but you know, the thing about Counter-Strike that a lot of the people that jumped over from Counter-Strike will tell you is that CS is boring. Like, CS has been the exact same game for, I would like to say, 10 years now. Like, they've changed it up like in minute fashions, like with maps and whatnot, but even that they haven't done in a while. They'll replace one map in the pool and they won't refresh it at all. A lot of the maps just stay the same, and all the strategies stay the exact same too. All the smoke execs, there's nothing new to learn. Essentially, it's just round after round, you're just trying to find frags, which is great actually in theory, because you're watching a shit ton of kills, and really the best of the best teams are going to be the ones that win. But it gets very tedious. But with Valorant, even a year in now, people are still innovating. People are still finding out what the fuck works in this game. And I mean, that's the thing that intrigued me the most, that I can jump on and I can be a pioneer of what might be this brand new esports for years to come. That's how I saw maybe like Overwatch at the beginning, where if I had made that jump into Overwatch, I might be in a different spot in my life right now. But I had never jumped into Overwatch. I had never jumped into a new game. Valorant was just my opportunity to really test myself in how I like to carry myself as a multi-esport commentator. Lots of commentators like to stay in one esport. I like to stay in multiple, purely for not only my career, but also because I like studying. I like finding out what new games are all about, and really what's the mentality switch between either one. It takes me a while. I essentially have to take like 4 days before or tournament, like a new game, to essentially get my mental back into things. But you know, Valorant for me was an easy jump, and I took it from the very bottom level. I wasn't doing like top tier events or anything like that, purely because there were none. I was just doing gigs for free at the beginning of Valorant, so that was pretty fun.